Hey, welcome to this podcast where the truth is released to inspire you to find your voice, bring out the gold within you, and help you reach your full potential to roar out loud in the world around you. I'm your host, Mary Street, and I'm here to take you on a weekly journey of hope, inspiration, and empowerment. This podcast is where we believe in turning up the volume on life's practical tips, impart insightful wisdom, as well as share life stories of triumph, resilience, and passion. In each episode, we'll be diving deep into relevant topics in today's world, as well as into the incredible lives and stories of extraordinary everyday individuals like you and me who have been set free from the fears, lies, and have overcome great adversity and found their voice to release their roar. So whether you're tuning in during your morning drive, working out at the gym, getting ready for school, or cozying up with that good cup of coffee, get ready to amplify your life and ignite your courage. This is Roar Out Loud. Welcome to today's episode of the Roar Out Loud podcast. I'm your host, Mary Street. In our last episode, we talked about how in life we only get one chance and how important it is to release your roar and to let your voice be heard. Today, we're going to explore the importance of the why. Why do we need to know where we come from? And the importance of owning our identity. One thing I've discovered is that many do not fully release their roar or find their voices because many people find it hard to do so without truly knowing and owning who they are. Who are you? Who am I? As I've spoken to young people and asked them pointed questions, the one thing I hear over and over is hurt and many pain points because of the lack of identity. We live in a world where many people are questioning, who am I? What was I created for? Like, what's my purpose on this earth? Why do I even exist? Nobody cares. Many people think that if they don't verbally say it. Nobody cares. What is my existence really about? Many people have no real understanding of who they are, where they came from, and why they exist. We all come from somewhere. Now, just to be clear, I'm not talking about Darwinism, which is, the theory of evolution of species by natural selection. I don't believe for 1 minute that we came from monkeys or some big bang theory either. I'm talking about something, or rather someone, much bigger and more powerful. If I were to ask you right now where you're from, right away, most people would give me an answer of a certain country, or if you are in America, you'd probably spout off the state you're from or the city you were born in. However, the true realm that you and I come from is not those places. The true realm you are from is the third heaven realm. The true realm I'm from is a third heaven realm. It's not this earth that some people call the first heaven. It's not the middle area where some people believe that angels and demons exist in Rome, which is called the second heaven. And while I do believe in both angels and demons and know that they are very, very real, as I've encountered both, I know that those entities are real and that they exist. However, the realm we are from is the third heaven realm. So the third heaven realm where we were thought of, it's a place where we were thought of. Okay, wait up. Did you hear that, right? Did you hear it? Yes, you did. Why am I telling you this? Why? Because you need to know the truth. And some of you need to be reminded. I run into young people and old people all the time and overhear conversations. And in those places, I realize many people, they truly don't understand this. And the truth is, you can't fully own your identity if you don't understand where you came from. Now, I know right now, some of you may be like, yeah, well, I don't believe in God. Or if you only knew the family I came from, the situation I came out of, the background I came from. While I understand those thoughts and those feelings, they're not always the truth. I understand how it's easy to only believe and live from the natural realm. However, it's when you understand that third heaven realm and the why to your existence, that you truly begin to understand the reality of God's truth over you. It's in this space that you truly begin to own and walk in the fullness of your identity. I'm going to let you in on some truth today. You were thought of and existed before the foundations of the world. Let me say that again. You were thought of and existed before the foundations of this world. I know, mind blowing is true. It's from this place, from the foundations of the world. That's where it all started. If you are a Bible reader, you can read it in Ephesians 1:4. It says, just as he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we would be holy and blameless before him in love. And there you are at the very beginning. There I am at the very beginning in God's heart and mind before the foundations of this world. Before being the key word here. God knew you before there was a before. And he not only knew you, guess what? He chose you. He chose me. The God of the universe chose you. Why did he choose you? Why did he choose me? God's goal for us was always relationship. No other species on earth was created for relationship with him like you and like me. His truth over us is that he loves us because he loves us. Let me say that again. His truth over you, his truth over me is that he loves us because he loves us. When we lean in and seek his truth over us, it's in that place that we'll begin to feel secure in who we are, because from that place, our foundation is built on love. Guess what? God is love. In this sacred place, you'll begin to own your identity and have a unique sense of your why and a unique sense of yourself that sets you apart from others. Knowing your God-given identity gives you validation and it increases your faith. When you know that God validates you, you're no longer worried about getting that promotion. You're no longer worried about being noticed. You're not striving for that part. You're no longer worried about your title or your performance before man. It's in this place of the assuredness of God's validation over you that you know that you are already equipped to walk out the dreams of your heart and do what God's calling you to do. It's in this space that you love him, you trust him, so much so that you have faith that he will walk with you into all that he has for you. It's in this place where there's no striving or performance. It's in this place where you become your authentic self. It's in this place where everything is done out of rest because you've learned that you're simply a son, a daughter. That, my friend, is why. It's your why. It's my why. That is why when we know where we came from and whose we are, we'll understand true sonship. Sonship gives way to truly owning your identity. John 10:10 says that there is a thief who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. When I turn on the TV and I hear crazy things that's happening in the world today, honestly, I try to stay away from the news. I really don't watch the news. But sometimes you hear things, or if you're on Instagram or TikTok and you're scrolling and all this stuff, you all do it. We do it from time to time. But when you're in those spaces, or just when I'm out and about and I'm hearing conversations, or I'm in conversations with people at the mall or different places, I have heard or overheard conversations from young people to old people talking, and I hear confusion, I hear anger, I see fear, and I hear pain points. People lack joy, they lack purpose. Many question their very existence. The enemy is vying to steal, kill, and destroy. There is a war over you, and there is a war over your identity. There is a war over your identity because the thief wants to steal your destiny. Let me say that again. There's a war over your identity because the thief wants to steal your destiny. Now, let me go back to John 10:10. There's a second part to that Bible verse, and it says, but God. Yes, let's say that again. But God. God comes that you might have life and life abundantly. In the unlocking of your identity lies a destiny of abundant life. It's in the obedience to Him that we discover who we really are. When you're living an abundant life, it doesn't mean there's no hardship. Trust me, I've been through hard. If you listen to my last podcast, you'll know I've been through hard in my life. Hard happens. And it doesn't mean that there will be no hard. It just means you've learned who you are and whose you are. It means that you have learned how to manage your emotional being because of the assuredness of who and whose you are. It means you have learned how to lead yourself and in turn lead others. As one young lady I talked to put it, there are too many sheep in the world. There are too many blind leading the blind. It's because people do not have identity. They're blind to the truth of who they are and whose they are. It's time for authenticity. We need to lean in, grasp where we came from and whose we are so we can walk in the fullness of our identities, becoming our unique, authentic selves as leaders in this world, the kind of leaders that the people around us need and are waiting for. So I have a few questions for you. Do you believe God loves you? Do you believe you are created for more? What do you think about yourself right now? What do you think about who you are and whose you are? Do you feel worthy? What we think shapes who we are. If you are constantly in denial with the belief that you are unworthy or that you are not good enough, then that is the walls that will build around your heart and keep you from your true identity. It's the lies of the thief keeping you from your destiny. It's time to tear down those walls. The truth is that you are good enough because Christ died for you. He died for me so that we could walk in the fullness of freedom, to be fully alive, living in the fullness of who we were and who we are and who He created us to be as sons and daughters of the King. In sonship, we get to do everything from a place of full identity. When we understand this, everything is done from a place of rest because we don't have to carry anything. We get to go to the Father and say, Dad, what do you think about this? Dad, I need your help. Dad, what is your strategy about this project or this thing? This assignment, this country, my family, we get to lean in and we get to co-partner with Him, bringing heaven solutions into everything we are and everything we do. It's time to lift our perspectives and see the bigger picture. There is a why to your existence. It's not about who you are. It's about whose you are. Whose you are. That's the why, the true why. Why am I existing? Because there is a God in heaven. There's a God in heaven that's for you and desires to be in sonship with you. This morning, I was in a place with some people that were missionaries, and it was amazing because they were telling some of their stories, and I could relate to some of it because I was a missionary on the field in Africa as well. And sitting with them and hearing their stories, it brought me to this place of, God, I need more of you. I want to see you move in my family in a greater way. It brought me to this place of holy jealousy, to go deeper with God in this place of sonship. Why? Why did it do that? How did it do that? Because I realized that they have something that I don't have. And do I have it accessible to me? Yes. Is all what I'm talking about today accessible to you? Yes, it absolutely is. What they had is this place of just deeper revelations of rest. Now, God's had me on this journey over these last few years of learning how to operate from this place of sonship and rest in Him. But there's a deeper realm of rest where the kingdom invades our very atmosphere. And in that place, you get such deep, deep strategies of heaven. They were telling a story how they love to do what they just rest before the Lord. They'll lay on their floors and maybe put some music on, maybe not, but they just listen with their spirits, with their spirit man. You have a spirit man, I have a spirit man. We are more spirit than we are human. Yes, that's true, because we come from that third heaven realm. And so they would lay on their floor and they would just listen with their spirit man. And then they would ask their kids, hey, are you hearing anything? They would ask their kids first, because they learn to listen to their children. Children often have a greater ability to hear in the spirit realm than we do as adults. Why is that? Because many times as adults, what we end up doing is we go through life and we're like these pipes, and our pipes, they are pure and water. It's like a water pipe. They're pure and water can flow through them easily as children. But then we grow up as adults, and the erosion of our life, the things get messy around us and in us and through us at different times, circumstances we go through. And then that erosion begins to grow on the inside of us, and our pipes are no longer pure. We can't hear as easily sometimes. And so we have to bring it back to that place of childlike faith. And so they were talking about how they just trust their children to hear the voice of God as well. And in that trust of hearing the voice of God, they got revelation from heaven in many different ways, to the point where they literally got strategy from heaven that put them before kings and queens of this world, literally presidents of nations and different things like that. And so we have that ability, when we really know whose we are, to lean into that place with the Father and to really take hold. I am a son. I am a daughter of the Most High King. And you know what? I don't have to live in this place of not understanding and lack and all the things. We get to lean in and say, I'm a daughter of the King. Therefore, I have access. I have access to heaven's realm over me on this earth as it is in heaven. And so my heart was so pricked this morning, because I'm like, God, I want that even more deeper revelation. He tells us in His word, He'll take us from glory to glory. And again, I understand there are some of you guys that may listen to this podcast and you go, what is she talking about? I don't even believe in God. I don't believe in Jesus. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to take time and just sit and say, God, if you're real, reveal yourself to me. I dare you to ask that question, because I promise you, God's going to meet you in that place. The third heaven realm is real. There is a reality of the kingdom that is for you and that is for me to tap into in a deeper way and a deeper place. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. If you have any questions for us that you would love answered on the air, feel free to write us. Or if you'd like to book me as a speaker, feel free to write at roaringhope@gmail.com. If you want breakthrough and would love to have someone come alongside of you to help you reach your full potential, I offer coaching sessions and coaching packages. For more inquiry, you can reach us at roaringhopecoach@gmail.com. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this podcast, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends and family. Always remember, your voice matters. Your dreams are worth pursuing. And you, my friend, have the power to roar out loud.